Conor the Notorious McGregor just can't stop being himself, can he? But that's exactly why the fans love him so much. In today's video, we'll talk about McGregor turning down Floyd Mayweather Jr. after the latter claimed that a rematch was possible and was in talks. Plus, some other exciting news you don't want to miss out on. So without wasting any time, let's dive right into it. First off, Conor says no to the big fight. Conor just killed any hopes that fans had for a possible rematch. After Mayweather hinted at a second fight with the Notorious in 2023, McGregor put an end to discussions for a rematch, and it was a textbook McGregor move. The former UFC featherweight and lightweight champion McGregor wrote not interested in an Instagram post that has since been removed, which also featured a photo of his first bout with Mayweather in 2017. Yep, you guessed it, it's a picture of Conor punching Floyd in the face. In one of the greatest fights in combat sports history, McGregor fell to Mayweather by 10th round TKO, in a bout that attracted over 4.3 million pay-per-view purchases and saw both men earn a combined $410 million in fight money. Earlier this month, Mayweather, 50-0, made a comeback to the boxing ring to face Japanese MMA fighter Mikuri Asakura in an exhibition match. A TKO in the second round gave him the victory. On November 13th, the boxing icon will compete in another exhibition battle against KSI's brother and British YouTube sensation Dejai Olatunji. More about this later on. Anyways, the Irishman is anticipated to make his octagon comeback early next year, likely at 170 pounds. McGregor hasn't competed since his first-round TKO loss to Dustin Poirier at UFC 264 due to a fractured leg. Moving on, let's back up a little, shall we? Nearing the fight against Asakura, Mayweather announced who is in line for the next fight. The self-proclaimed best ever confirmed the rumors of him fighting Deji. He also continued to emphasize that talks between him and Conor's team have been going on for a possible rematch, while also not being sure whether it was going to be an exhibition or a real fight. He did claim that it was planned for 2023 after Conor recovers from his injury. He also told the reporters that he wants it to be an exhibition. Floyd implied that he wasn't looking for fights and that would end up with him getting hurt. That is the reason he's fighting YouTubers and UFC fighters. He took this dig at Conor, saying he was looking for people who don't hit that hard. Mayweather made his remarks a few months after Dana White, the president of the UFC, declared that he would not support a McGregor-Mayweather fight and that Conor's next bout will take place in the cage. Guess we're waiting then. Not to forget, Floyd Mayweather called out Jake Paul. In 2017, Mayweather added Conor to his list of victories and made it to 50-0 before announcing his retirement from professional boxing. Since then, he's been holding exhibition fights with many fighters, starting with Nasukawa in 2018, fighting the older Paul on December 6th in 2020, to more in 2022, and then his recent bout against Mikuru Asakura in Japan. After finishing Asakura in the second round, Mayweather called out the problem child. He said that, if necessary, he would risk his perfect record in order to defeat Jake. He promised a professional fight, but added a requirement. He wants Jake Paul to fight at his weight. As Jake already plans on cutting, he insists that all he needs is 6 rounds to put Floyd to sleep. Logan has previously fought Mayweather in an exhibition bout. The fight between the YouTuber and the former 5-division world champion went the distance. Paul really wants to make this fight happen so he can send Mayweather into proper retirement. But hey, not everything is all negative. Mayweather congratulated Jake after the latter gained notoriety in the boxing scene, appreciating what he did for the sport. He claimed that the YouTuber was entertaining and that he liked his perspective on the game. Jake Paul is now doing well for what he's doing, according to Mayweather. But it's going to be horrible once he faces a genuine warrior. He's selling it and making big money though, which is something Mayweather admires about him. He's fun to watch. People enjoy it. Coming up, Floyd versus Deji with a splash of advice. Since the fight has been confirmed, there isn't really much to talk about. All we know is that it's going to happen on November 13th. What we do know is what's on the undercard. Anyways, sad Jake Paul noises. Yeah, you guessed it right. It's Tommy Fury. The co-main event of the Floyd Mayweather vs. Deji card, which takes place on November 13th at Coca-Cola Arena in Dubai, has been confirmed as the British reality television sensation and half-brother of heavyweight champion Tyson Fury. Pro Paul Bamba versus Tommy Fury. Anyways, Deji is now 1-0 according to the fans. Now that he'll be facing Mayweather, he'll advance about 1,000,000 levels, and Logan Paul has some tips for him before the fight. Try to get paid up front. It was rumored that Mayweather had earned $65 million, or 52 million pounds, after Paul's bout with the boxing star, including statements from Money himself that he sold the short sponsorship of $30 million, or 24 million pounds. The online star reportedly made $5 million, 4.1 £1.1 million in pay-per-view earnings, in addition to a fixed fee of £250,000 or £205,000. Allegedly, Paul still hasn't received his share. Let's hope that doesn't happen to our boy Deji. We only wish him well. Moving on, let's see what Conor's up to. This week, Conor McGregor and Michael Bisping engaged in a social media brawl. In a since-deleted tweet, the Notorious mentioned a number of fighters who were transitioning from the ring to the screen, including Bisping. The Irish UFC fighter took aim at these actors. The Count responded by saying that McGregor needed his security nearby. In the past 10 years, Bisping has been in a variety of television shows, including Hollyoaks Later and Twin Peaks, to which McGregor was pointing. In contrast, the Irishman was just added to Gyllenhaal's cast for the forthcoming Roadhouse adaptation, which is also expected to be released this year. So all in all, a pretty happening end of the year for Conor McGregor. In other news, first up, Joe Rogan calls McGregor out. Not only has Joe Rogan gone on the record to talk about McGregor, but he also has taken the opportunity to let it all out and give the MMA star a piece of his mind. Conor McGregor has been heavily criticized by UFC commentator Joe Rogan for attacking Khabib's legacy. According to Rogan, Conor coming for Khabib is nothing but crazy talk. But is there any truth to it? Since Khabib took a break from combat sports back in October 2020, it seems like McGregor just can't help but take shots at his longtime rival. In a tweet to Nurmagomedov's close friend and well-known filmmaker Will Harris, McGregor said that the Russian's legacy in the sport had been toast. But it seems like Rogan just doesn't agree with that opinion. On a recent episode of his podcast, Rogan seriously questioned Conor's choice of words. How is his legacy toast? Asked the podcaster. And well, we'd like to hear the answer to this, even though it might open up a brand new Pandora's box. With a perfect 29-0 record and 3 successful defenses of his lightweight championship, Rogan is an admirer of the former champion's career. But McGregor and some others believe the Russian's early retirement ruined his record of accomplishments. Next up, is McGregor on drugs? The Notorious might be living up to his nickname and earning himself some spotlight for things he isn't supposed to. Our boy Conor hasn't been drug tested in 2022, and somehow no conspiracy has followed this news as of yet. According to the most recent update of the athlete testing record in the program run by the United States Anti-Doping Agency, McGregor is one of the few athletes on the UFC roster who hasn't taken a single test during the month of September, as reported by TSN. Even after being the most tested athlete in 2021, he hasn't enrolled this year as he's been out due to injury. And while the agency can't really say much in the matter, they did say it's not random testing, but usually 6 months before a fighter is engaging in combat. Lastly, finishing what we started, Dana White wants no part of the rematch that was speculated to happen in 2023 between Mayweather and McGregor. White really said, no thanks. There you have it, Floyd. The picture we just saw about McGregor punching Floyd, where he wrote, not interested? Yeah, there's a whole story to it. So initially the caption for the picture was, I accept. Later on, the post was deleted and we got the one where he roasted Mayweather. Despite the first fight's enormous popularity, for some reason, White is unwilling to participate in a rematch. During a recent interview on the Jim Rome show, the 52-year-old said to Jim Rome that he had no desire for the bout and that McGregor's next battle would take place in the UFC rather than a boxing ring. And at this point, the fight could be against anyone, from Nate Diaz to even Jake Paul. The possibilities are endless here. That's a wrap for this video. Do you think there'll be a second fight? Who do you think will win? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one. Peace.